Casa trip from Galveston fishing pier, and this round we did really good. And I'm just going to give you a quick update because I'm doing some cooking right now. Taking just a quick rundown on some of the stuff I got. So here I'm cooking up some on my induction burner in a cast iron skillet some of the sand trout that we were catching. Okay, and here I just pretty much pan fry it in a skillet, just like I do rainbow trout. And not doing so well, but here we go. And I just did the salt or garlic, salt, and seasoned pepper. Okay, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. It's kind of falling apart, but yeah, just gut and or cut the heads off, gut and gill them, and you're good to go. And here I'll just kind of do this number. Okay. These sand trout are small, but there's no size limit. All right. And then I've got that one Spanish mac that my fishing buddy caught. I'm gonna cook that here also in the fryer because I'm pretty much a fry everything guy. The pompano that we ended up catching, that one my fishing buddy is cooking that one with some recipe in the oven. I'm not sure what he's doing with it, but hey, I think it'll be good. Anyhow, I'd say stay tuned for more. Yours truly plans on doing a little follow-up video from this week's or this week's fun at Galveston Fishing Pier. There's a lot of lessons learned, as well as some carryover items that we'll talk about. And I'll probably schedule that tomorrow once I get settled in. Just got done putting away gear. I kind of always like doing a little recap, and I think this round, instead of doing just a straight video and uploading it and all that and editing it and taking a week or two to get it out there, I think I'm just going to live stream it. I've got my stuff together, put together for it. And let's see, I got the fishing poles and the tackle, as well as some other pointers I want to bring up to the team, and just talk about, hey, some of the lessons learned that we picked up from this trip this year. And I think at this point I'm just really just sitting back and just cooking a few things here. And let's see, certainly if you have any questions that you want to throw out before we do that update, certainly bring it up. Let me just drop this. Okay, and here I'm just doing a little pan-fried sand trout. All right, but this past trip of the stuff that we were catching some speckled trout, sand trout, bunch of croaker, whiting. Ended up getting a slot 16-inch spec, howdy Vito 39. We're just doing a little cooking here, as well as just a quick recap of what we did this past week at Galveston fishing. And then probably tomorrow I'll do another live stream just going over some of the stuff that we learned this year. I think I need to bump the temperature up a little. I like these sand trout crispy like I like my rainbow trout. Okay. All right, let's just get that one going. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff I believe that might be useful for folks that are thinking about hitting the coast here in the next few. Good pointers, I believe, as well as some carryover items that we picked up. We did end up getting a 36-inch black drum, and then 3 black-tipped sharks. Got a pompano and a Spanish mackerel. I think because I usually wait the last day, because you really don't want to freeze sand trout. You wait. We wait till the last day for the stuff that we're going to keep. And I would have caught more, but unfortunately, we got caught in a rainstorm at that tail end of that night, or that messed with us. So bummer there. Anyways, if you're new to this, we've just been streaming this past week of all the activities we were doing on the coast in Galveston, Texas. But now we're back here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, also in Texas, and we'll be shifting back to our normal live stream fishing, mobile fishing live stream, where yours truly hits up these different ponds and whatnot here in the area, as well as well, the occasional run to different rivers and off-site locations that hopefully that you'll find interesting. And format's been more of a live stream setup versus doing the longer form video, but I will usually follow up with an edited version of it. So if you can't make the live stream, you should be able to pick up on the edited version. All right. Okay, we're just getting these guys cooked. Okay, and a very simple recipe: salt and pepper, or garlic, salt, and seasoned pepper, I mean. All right, and here I just want to make sure I've got the good flakiness that I like. Okay, and then let's see what else. I'll be cooking that Spanish mackerel that my fishing buddy caught. And then after that, let's see, what's the update? It's mainly the updates that we had for fishing Galveston, Texas, specifically fishing the pier, and just going to do a quick update on what we caught, as well as tomorrow we'll do a more longer form version of it live as well. So do stay tuned for that. But bottom line, if you have the opportunity to make it to the Galveston fishing pier, right now the water's been really clear, and their Spanish mac have been really good, be it in the early morning and early evening. We ended up getting ours more of the early evening, and then that chance of those speckled trout, actually some nice size speckled trout, are there also. And what's surprising, this has been the clearest we've seen the waters over there, so good news there. Here, bear with me. I gotta go and put these in a container here. So let me just put the phone or the deal down here so you guys can get a view of everything still. Let me just walk it back here. All right, I'll just leave it here for now. Bear with me. I'm just gonna go grab a container to put the fish in. All right, and very similar to how I like cooking sand trout, I pretty much do this. Let's see, do a dance. No. All right, what seasoning I'm using? Garlic, salt, and garlic, salt, and seasoned pepper, and that's it. All right, let me go ahead and bear with me. I'm gonna go put the next set in. All right, that sets in. All right, cool. All right, so they're small, but they still taste pretty good. All right, I'll get that Spanish mackerel cooked up here as well. I'm gonna keep it at 460. I'm using this induction burner so I can just kind of, with a click of a button, drop the temperature as need be. And that seems to be working pretty good overall. Okay. Anyhow, yeah, I'll do a recap of the week, starting with our lessons learned or tips that we picked up from fishing Surfside, the jetty over there, making that run up to the coast to Galveston Fishing Pier, and talk about how that went. Fishing overall, I would say steady action. I think if you had the opportunity for Spanish mackerel, that would be the going thing. Fishing the early morning bite. The key there is just make sure you have some silver spoons. Silver spoons seem to be the key, as well as live shrimp. But I'll talk about more of that tomorrow. And then additionally, we did see some folks doing some sight casting for black drum, as well as the speckled trout. And one key thing there is it's crystal clear water. I'm just like being able to see the bottom, and I would say closer to the beginning of the pier, right when you walk on, just look in the surf zone, and you might see some nice sized speckled trout kind of hanging out there. Other than that, you should be able to catch black drum. If you want a bunch of sand trout, just certainly come out there, and well, some shrimp, a hook, a line, etc. You should be able to get that, and maybe even the occasional pompano like yours truly did. And then back to that silver spoon with the Spanish mackerel. From a shark standpoint, I'd stray away from using squid. You get a lot of those catfish, hardheads, and gap topsail. Instead, I would focus more on maybe some cut bait, or maybe if you can get some pompano, or if you can get some ladyfish, definitely do that. Ours got caught on sand trout as well as some whiting. Not so well on croaker. We did end up getting 3 sharks. We ended up releasing them, none that we wanted to keep. All right, and then from there, I'll be grabbing that Spanish mackerel here in a moment. Let me go ahead and grab that. I'll let this one kind of sit while I run inside to go grab Spanish mackerel. So bear with me. I'll be back shortly. Again, let me just adjust things here so you can see, at least get a view. It's kind of dark here. I'm fishing, or I'm cooking in the backyard right now with that induction burner. I'll be back here in a minute. Okay, I'm back. This is the Spanish mackerel. I went ahead and filleted it, and it's again garlic, salt, and pepper. Seasoned pepper, that is. Alright, okay, what else is going on? What are your favorite thing about having a channel? It's mainly so I can, well, I use it as a journal or a log, because before I was using it, using a paper journal. Okay, there's the Spanish mackerel. Right. I was using a paper journal to, bear with me here, to log all my fishing trips and fishing outings, and with that, that worked well, because I can go back and kind of parse through the log and find out, hey, this is what I did before, let's try it again, or here's some adjustments. And then had several moves. Next thing I know, I ended up losing all that information. So got lost in one of my moves, and then I ended up starting up another one, and sure enough, lost that next log. So after that, I said I need to do something different. So I started a blog, COAF Field Team, or correction, City of Island Fishing .blogspot.com, and I put all my information there, but I still was missing something. And then YouTube came out, I think back in 2008, so I jumped on that and I just started posting videos, and I had like over 3,000 plus videos. So you can parse through all that if you want to see some of the past things I've done. anyhow, I use that as my electronic fishing journal. So I'll go back and, like in this case, Galveston, I'll just go and do a search, filter on Galveston and COAF, to catch my COAF field team channel. And from there, I'll just go and look through those videos and go, oh yeah, that's what we did before, or that's what we did previously. And then I started doing this a recap one after each trip. And in this case, this year, I'm going to just do it from a live stream standpoint. Do you still post much videos? Yes, I still do. Be it a live stream format or YouTube shorts. Usually daily. This past week, I haven't because, well, I was out there fishing. What are you making? I'm just doing some pan-fried sand trout, okay? And then after that, I'm going to cook up this Spanish mackerel that my buddy caught. All right, a little 25-inch one that he hooked up on, and I went and filleted it. I saved the tail because I like doing these tail mounts with some of the fish that we catch. So I got a tail mount of a Spanish mackerel, got a tail mount of a black tip that I've caught, or my buddy caught in the past. So we like doing that. We can talk more about that if you want. If not, we'll just keep cooking here. Okay. But we did learn a few things this round fishing Galveston. I think the biggest lesson learned this round with the Spanish mackerel was I completely forgot that you have to have wire when you're fishing Spanish mackerel. I'd done that fishing the coast way back when, living in South Texas, and I completely forgot that Spanish mackerel will just cut your line with those sharp teeth. So of course I got a hit and lost my line, or lost my fish. And I guess this year I really wanted to try that bait finesse combo, that ultralight bait fishing combo that I got after last year's trip. Okay, so what happened was, let me see if I can flip the video around. All right, here in the dark here, I just some light. I'm cooking in the backyard, just chilling. You might hear some noise and whatnot. Anyhow, so what happened was, an individual was showing us how to fish for these nice sized trout with live mullet, and my bait casting bass fishing rod, I broke the tip, and so I was using a boat rod, spinning rod, and a heavier reel that we use for fishing for larger fish, not for casting light mullet. In this case, 3-inch, 4-inch mullet, and it was very windy, and I had a hard time casting it out there, but the fish were biting, and I ended up just saying, hey, I need to go mix it up next year. So I'd say about within a week, I saw that they had the Shimano Corrado BFS XG out there, and I do love the ugly stick. I think I had a comment a couple of days ago where someone was saying putting $2,000 rims on a $50 car. Maybe that's the case, but I got a lot of ugly sticks, about 4, 5, 6 over the years, and I've never broke one. The only time I've had an issue with an ugly stick was when it fell over into the water when I was kayak fishing. So yeah, I really like the ugly stick, especially the newer version that is like the Graphite Elite X and whatnot. That one is a very lightweight compared to the older ones that we were getting. And so I made the commitment that I'm just going to try taking this and do a little practice casting with no weight, little 3 to 4 inch mullet, and see if I can get these speckled trout. And sure enough, I picked up this combo, and within a week of fishing the local ponds here in Dallas, Fort Worth, North Texas area, I hooked into a nice catfish. I think it ended up being about 20 plus inches, and had no problem using that bait finesse gear with it. and I was casting a 1/16 ounce rooster tail, one of these homemade ones that I made, DIY rooster tail, or inline spinner, excuse me, yeah, inline spinner. And from there I was like, okay, if I can cast this, I should be able to cast a little mullet. And oh, by the way, it looks like I can handle some heavier fish, no problem. So I did that, and that went well. Was going with 8-pound test, the orange strand mono high vis, because I'm more of a line fisherman. So I'll take a look at the line and see if there's any indication to strike and make my adjustments there. So I did that, but I needed to make sure I could still cast a mullet-like fish. Well, there's no mullet up here in this area. Maybe some shad and whatnot, but I'm fishing the local ponds. So I was casting some little bluegill, little 2-3 inch bluegill, and had no issue casting with it, and ended up catching, I think, some bass as well as some catfish. And that proved to me that yes, this thing is good. Now I'm just gonna use it throughout the year and just make sure that I can cast it no problem. And so when we got back to the coast, the one thing I made an adjustment for was 8-pound strand mono is not going to cut it. I did put even some 4-pound strand mono, and that's how I'm going to cut it fishing salt water, because there's all kinds of stuff that could strike. And so I ended up picking up some over there at the Academy in Galveston, this Usuri braid. It's a blue line, and they had some, I think it was like 14, 15 pound all the way up to 30, 40 plus. I settled on the 20 pound because it was an equivalent to a 4-pound diameter mono, and I put it on the Shimano, and I ended up using most of it. It's 150 yards on there. I ended up re-spooling 3 times. The first time was I had a big blow up and got it all tangled where I hooked into my line that was behind me and just had a huge backlash. Instead of wasting the time trying to undo it, I just went ahead and just cut the line and re-spooled it. And when I re-spooled it, I just did, I forget how long, but not a very much line. I was end up casting all the way to the end. That's how far I was casting with it, and I was working good for, I'd say the sand trout. I was using these blade lures that you use for walleye, saugeye, and whatnot. Well, they work really well for sand trout, especially under the lights, and so that worked out well. But I knew once I saw that Spanish mackerel out, that I knew I had to add some more line. So I ended up adding, I'd say some more line, and that worked out well. But unfortunately, I made the mistake of forgetting about wire. So we ended up picking up some wire, and then from there I was able to get back to fishing. And I didn't land one. I had several hits, but my fishing buddy ended up doing it. And right there, I'm gonna be, sorry, let me flip the camera. Okay, right there, I'll be cooking that thing right here in a moment. All right. Okay, let's see. We got the pompano that we're gonna be cooking. That's inside, so we'll get that all cooked up. Let me go ahead and flip these over again. Just make sure that that's good. Let me just show you what I'm doing. All right, and I'm using this in mainly I can control the heat pretty quickly, and it heats up fairly quickly. Not like the propane that I was using. Propane stove. It's great for backpacking and whatnot, but for camping where there's no electricity. But hey, I got a chance to cook out here with this thing. I'm certainly going to jump on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and let that cook. In fact, I'm feeling a little hungry real quick here. So let me grab what we already cooked here. Okay, sand trout. It's reminded me of rainbow trout. Okay, and I usually will cook them to where they're crispy, like so. All right, and I'll just take a chunk out of it. Make sure I get away from the bones. Even though it gets crispy, you still got to watch the bones. All right. That's tasty. Very tasty. Yeah, very good. Let's see. Someone saying hi. Howdy, howdy. How's it going? Oh yeah, it does remind me of rainbow trout. Good stuff. Sand trout. I'm eating some sand trout that I cooked, or that I caught last night in Galveston, Texas. Okay. All right.
Time on yours all being done.
Let's see this. This is almost done. I'm saying Spanish mackerel, maybe about 10 minutes. So give me about 15. All right, the fishing buddy's out inside cooking the pompano that we caught. From Popeye. Where are you from? Popeye. I'm in the U.S. All right. And talking fishing Galveston. All right. And pretty cool trip. Met some folks that gave us some good tips as well. Let me go ahead and make an adjustment here. I gotta go and take these off the burner, and I'll be back. I'm just gonna set this here so y'all can stay engaged with y'all. Just gotta make an adjustment with the camera. Okay. All right. Let's go get this. This stuff's looking really good, I'll tell you that. Okay, I'm dropping the temperature down to 400. Okay. All right, I dropped the temperature down to 400, and now next up is going to be Spanish mac. I'm probably going to have to cook it in batch of 2, so let's just grab this. Got it at 400. Okay. Just goes. Okay. A batch of 1. No, I think I can do 2 at the same time. All right. Okay, here it comes. Spanish mackerel, here I come, baby. All right, now I'm just gonna, I kept it simple. It's seasoned pepper and garlic salt, and that's it. Okay. I think I do need to crank up the temperature up to 430 at least. All right, let's crank it to 460, get it up to speed. Press down on it, okay. I'm from Popeye. We're from, I don't know where Popeye is. Okay. Looks like we got some folks on. So tomorrow, I'm going to do a recap of the fishing trip. Go day by day and really just call out some of the things that we learned each day, as well as some carryover stuff that we picked up from the past that I would say is still good to know since we went out there. And it's our annual trip to the Galveston Fishing Pier that we like doing, and we're doing it since I think 2014, so 10 years, 12 years, no, 11 years. And then what I normally do is I'm mainly fishing the Dallas-Fort Worth area, fishing the urban ponds and creeks and whatnot. Mainly here in the city of Allen, which is a metroplex just north, or a city just north of the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. So stay tuned for that. Well, I do make some runs into Oklahoma, fishing some different lakes as well as rivers. In particular is the Blue River, which is about an hour 45 minutes from where I live. And I can, when the trout season starts from November to March, have a fun time catching some trout on the Blue River in Oklahoma. That is an awesome place to just kind of hang out and catch some trout and fish a river. Especially there are some year-round fisheries that I definitely love going to over the course of the year for trout in particular, fly fishing, or sometimes ultralight bait casting, since I do love the bait finesse style fishing. I got hooked into that, and that's one of the key things that I picked up on from last year was being able to take that bait finesse to the salt water. I've not used those other reels that I have. I got like an old Casking Zephyr, and then I've got Actually, I got 2 of those, and I got this flight feather. Both of those or those 3 are basically freshwater. Do have the Shimano Scorpion as well as the Shimano Corrado that work well in salt water. I've used both now and had no issues other than just rinse it off and oil it up, and you're good to go. Okay. I do suggest when you are fishing saltwater, make an adjustment and put on some braid. In this case, I do like that Uzuri braid. I like that blue color. That's high biz, and on top of it, hey, it's 20-pound it's 20-pound test, but a 4-pound diameter equivalent. So that's pretty cool. Hey, Groundhog's back. Hey, how's it going tonight? Just doing a little quick update on the fishing in Galveston. Tomorrow I'll be doing a full live stream where I'll just go and do a recap of basically a lessons learned on the things we learned this trip, because every year we end up learning a few things. Yeah, and it doesn't hurt to just say share the info, because that's one of our mottos here is learn to fish by our trials and errors. All right. Okay. I'm just gonna keep getting this going. Looking for that fork flaky consistency. And I'm gonna keep it at 460. That seems to be a good temperature to cook this baby. All right. Oh yeah, and there's one point. I'll probably put a YouTube shorts on it about, I call it just a cloud. There was one day when it was really windy and we had a storm coming through, but it quit on us, or it didn't hit us. Well, last night it definitely hit us. My fishing buddy and I are hunkered on the T-head of the fishing pier, along with maybe, I think, 2 other couples, and we're just sitting there under our umbrellas getting pounded by this storm. Tons of rain and whatnot and wind, but luckily the lightning stayed away, so that'll be interesting. But it ended up doing pretty good. We actually saw a dolphin come up and crystal clear water basically, and we saw him, never seen this before, where he was chasing some fish and flopped on his back, and you could see his belly and everything, and he had a fish in his mouth, and he flipped up in the air and ended up eating it. I wish I got that on video. But anyways, yeah, it was a pretty interesting night. So basically this time yesterday, we were hunkered under 2 umbrellas next to our pier cart, getting beat up by the by the rain and whatnot. But like I was saying, it's just a cloud. It's just a cloud. All right. This stuff is smelling really good. And like I said, I keep it simple. Garlic, salt, seasoned pepper. We're good to go. For the pompano, the fishing buddy wants to try something different there. I think he's going to broil it in the oven with some lemon and some other dealies. So, good stuff. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. And while this is happening, let's go back over here. Go to the sand trout that I got finished up. I'm gonna have to taste it real quick here. Just a quick taste, you know. All right, these guys are small, but they are definitely tasty. You just kind of peel the meat off the bone. Look at that. Ooh. There. Oh yeah. I have to admit, I do like to taste the saltwater fish a lot more than the freshwater. But I do like a few freshwater fish, striped bass and crappie, as well as just catfish in general. That's a good neutral fish that you can do all kinds of cool stuff to it. Most recently, what I've been doing with catfish is I've been frying it just like this still, but I'll put it on a bed of cauliflower rice, and then I'll put this Thai curry deal on it, and I tell you what, that turns out really nice. Yeah, I pick up the pack. I don't actually make it myself. I'll just go and get the pack that you get pre-made at the grocery store. I forgot who makes it, but it's a envelope style pack. You just crack it open. You can add some other vegetables to it, and you warm it up on the stove, and then you just pour it over the fish, over that bed of rice as well, and next thing you know, you've got a really tasty fish. I think it's like a Thai catfish is the recipe, but I don't go full Monty on that one. I just kind of cheat using that pre-made deal. All right, I need to run in and grab something real quick to get this guy taken care of here. So I'm gonna be back here shortly. If you have any questions or could think of anything, I'll certainly post them in the comments, and I'll be back to hopefully answer them. All right. Okay, so there's my setup right now. A little cast iron with a induction burner. Seems to work really well. I like it because I can adjust that temperature really quickly. Oh, wait. Okay. All right, I'm back. How's it going, everybody? Just cooking the Spanish mackerel now. All right. I believe it's done, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. It says it's hot. And I'll just do a little quick shaky shake of some oil on top of it here. And then let me put it in a little pan here, and I can show you the end result. Okay. Let me put this back here. I gotta run in and grab a pan. All right, I'm back. Okay, bear with me. I'm gonna put this on the paper towel pan deal. Okay, look at that. Almost reminds me of a blackened redfish. Okay, let me see if I can get you in the light here. All right, that looked pretty cool. Nice. All right, let me just put this aside. Flip the camera around. Okay. All right, that's today's update. I will be doing a full-blown update tomorrow. Just recapping the whole trip from each day, starting when we started in Surfside at the jetties and then ending over there in Galveston. Probably, well, when that rain hit. Okay, I appreciate you guys joining today. Stay tuned tomorrow. All for now. Next time we'll catch y'all later. And good luck and good fishing.